Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming. This is going to be another Dragonheir Selling Gods video. In today's video, I'm going to show you my 6 teams for the Resurged Dragon, where I did as much damage as I possibly could with, not having quite a lot of the exclusive legendaries. I pretty much only have 2 exclusive legendaries out of the 6, and I still managed to do some pretty decent numbers. So let's check them out. Now I'm just going to go over the damage that I did, I'm going to go over the teams and maybe a little bit over the builds. If you want one of these teams, if you want me to make a specific video, which, I might still make, but if you want to see a specific, full-on breakdown with skill timings, with everything gear-wise and everything, let me know in the comments down below and I can do it on the next few days. Even though, it's still, this whole thing still lasts for another 7 days, I think it is. The whole thing, let me see, does it show? So we still have 2 days up until it goes to the end, but then the total damage rankings should be, let me see. Okay, so we still have like 7 days and 16 hours, that's like 8 days. But pretty much my teams are, as you can see over here, right, 216, 231, 233, 226, 302, and 233. And obviously my biggest damage one is the one where I have the exclusive legendary in Flora, and that's going to be the one that does the best. Now, some of these teams actually have full YOLO on timings, but still, again, if you want me to make a specific video, just let me know in the comments down below. So, I guess let's start at the top with the one that I did last. So, the first one's gonna be my Dauntless team, did 216 million. And one thing that surprised me, and I was kind of happy to see, is the fact that Divine Ascetic actually did more damage in this team than my Velios, right? That was something that surprised me. Obviously, you can see he's mostly mythic artifacts, then with his exclusive artifact focused on as much damage as possible. Ivelios is in the Queen's Fan, with again as much enlightenment and attack as possible, because that's how you want to make damage with him. Then in this one I had Sutha, where I focused with as much attack speed as I could, plus some damage on her. And the cool thing about Sutha is that most of her skills say that they have an extra, at least like this one, and the ultimate, have an extra 30% chance to trigger a critical hit, which means you'll need to get to around 70% crit rate, and it's still gonna work just fine. Then I had my Nimbus, that was the one that was built in the Brotherhood Spirit, right, to boost out some of my damage with the Witch's Remains. And then we had Nathaniel in the Horn, plus with the Puppeteer set, right, and also gave him the Sky Code, because he actually removes debuffs when he plays shields, right? It can help us remove the burns, the decrease attack, and all of that fun stuff. So this is the main team. Second one was the Frost team. I have no Vitar, but this one's kind of focused around Losenia in a damage build with Witch's Remains. Then I have Oster with one of the exclusive Frost artifacts, again, mythic pieces of gear with as much damage as possible. Then I have Dritz Orden, which he is Inspired 5, right? I'm not gonna lie. He was the main damage dealer in here. He was pretty much, again, mythic artifacts, but with the exclusive artifact that gives him more attack and has a chance to land a bit more of that defense penalty. And I'm not 100% sure if you need the accuracy for this. I think you do, and if you do, then this artifact might not be the best and might be better off to swap with something else. But I might be doing some testing the next few days. Just today I've had enough testing with this. I cannot get over, I cannot get in top 100 unfortunately, because I'm missing too many of the exclusive legendaries, so I'm just keeping this one. Then for support I have Velocia. I just love her, she's amazing. She has the Aurelian Vest, plus she's the one in the Puppeteer's Inspiration, again with Sky Code Treaty as one of the mythic pieces of gear to try and remove some of those debuffs when she does the ultimate. And then I actually have the one that kind of like seemed to be pretty interesting, Olgan, in this one in a resistance build with the, the Brotherhood Spirit, but also I gave him the Prismatic Cloak so he has a chance to reflect that decrease attack that the boss places, and also, have the high resist so that we can prevent the boss from putting that, the increased defense on himself so he can do more damage. Now, one of the main reasons why Olgan is so good is, like, I've seen some other people use him as well, but it's because his ultimate, when he casts him, he gives attack up to all the Frost allies, right, which is going to be himself plus the other 3, which means we're going to be doing a lot more damage. Kind of worked out that I did more damage with Olgan in this build, in this team, as opposed to bringing a Vidimir in the team. I don't have Vitar, so this is what I'm using. Then next one was my Poison team, 233 million. This one was mostly focused around Twitch as my main damage dealer. He's going to be, again, full enlightenment and attack as much as I could with some accuracy. Make sure you give him some accuracy so he can land his poisons. Then he also has this statue of the serpent deity as the exclusive artifact, which is going to make him do a ton more damage. Then we have Vikana. Vikana's using Rikir's boomerang, so she can try and, like, you know, activate some of those poisons from time to time whenever she lands them. Same principle, enlightenment, attack, and some accuracy on her with mythic pieces of gear. Then I actually have Elminster in this team as my support. Now, maybe instead of Elminster, right? Because we don't have him yet. Or if you're somebody who hasn't played in the past. But if you don't have Elminster, you can try and use somebody like a what's his name? Who brings the shields? Adolphus, right? You can try and use Adolphus instead. But I focused Elminster on, again, high resistance with accuracy, with enlightenment, again with a prismatic cloak, but also with the power of tide, so he can heal us a bit as well, not only just, you know, bring us the shields. That's kind of like the cool thing about him. He can bring really massive shields from his battle skill, so that can be really fun. Then I have Durango as my Witch's Remains and also my Puppeteer's Inspiration, right, with obviously enough accuracy. It's a little bit overkill. Then some enlightenment and attack, because if he lands some poisons, he can do a bit more damage, but his main role in this team is Witch's Remains and Puppeteer. And then I have Corin, which I only focused as much skill haste as I could get him, but also with Brotherhood Spirit, and obviously you're going to see Rift Hourglass. You don't really care about the enlightenment, honestly, because it's like, okay, he can land some poisons from here, but you only care about him doing this, right? You want him to keep doing the poison explosion and keep extending the duration of the poisons. That's his main role in this team, and that's how I have him built. Then next team is going to be my Necrosis team. Unfortunately, again, I don't have level 1S, so I did the best that I could. 226 million damage. It's, you know, pretty decent. I'm pretty happy with this. It was mostly focused around Premsa, doing the most of the damage. She has the Queen's Fan, and then obviously mythic artifacts again with enlightenment and attack, because most of her damage comes from this one. That's why I went this way with her. Then Irzilas is kind of like the enabler for her. He provides the summons to make her do more damage, but also gave him a damage build, which when you can see I gave him a ton of damage, right? Lots of crit damage. That's just how I managed to do it because of this one, right? That's some good crit rate rolls on some of the stuff. Then I do have this nice glove with crit damage and crit rate that kind of allowed me to get this build. And, you know, he still did not do as much damage as my Premsa, but, you know, he was like, you know, doing some decent damage in there. Then I had Ripicast. The reason why Ripicast is so good and I like him in this team is because 1, he can be the Witch's Remains. 2, he's going to be the Brotherhood Spirit. 3, he's really good because with his ultimate, he can land some of these debuffs, right? He can land 3 of them. So they are at random, it's not guaranteed, but he also has a chance to reduce the ultimate energy, which means you can drop some of those bosses' stacks, right? The rage stacks, whatever they were called. So you can try and, you know, mitigate some of its damage, and then you can try and actually boost the, what's it called, the ultimate energy with a Puppeteer set, which is actually going to be on Cintrella. Now, this is not ideal because Cintrella initially does the clone of the bird that you get for Necrosis, and by her doing that means she's not going to be doing the ultimate up until those birds start dying, which is halfway through the fight, so you don't get this boost a lot. This is something, again, that I still have to look into, see what's the best way to go, but I just still gave her that, and then I focused as much attack as possible to give her Dawn Organ Pipe, so she boosts the damage of Premsa some more. Then the last one in the team is Thorin, and he's going to be in the Ancestral Protection with as much Enlightenment and HP as I could, because that's how he's going to be healing. Now, I forgot to mention, but you can see all of the talents obviously at the bottom every time I show the people. And then I actually realized the Gatekeeper staff made me do more damage because it allowed me to survive more on him than actually having the Horn, right? Again, still had to do some testing, but this is the one that kind of looked like it worked for me. I still want to try and maybe see if I get in the team, what's his name, Zarloth, right? Maybe get Zarloth in a full attack build to help with some more healing and give him the what's it called? I cannot think. The Horn, right? Give him the Horn and maybe drop Cintrella, see if that does more or less, but you know, for now it's 226. Then obviously the MVP, which is my wild team, 302 million damage, focused around Felicity with Witch's Remains, Brotherhood Spirit, and then I actually gave her this one, right? This mythic piece of gear allows her to heal herself a little bit as well. In case, you know, it becomes tricky and you die, you give her this. This one kind of, you know, replaces the mythic artifact that helps you heal on basic attacks, and I feel like this one works better on her because she can hit at least 5 times, if not 8 times, and keep landing those defense penalties, which means 2% heal every time. So she either heals between 10 and 16% of her max HP every single time she does the ultimate. And then also try to give her as much crit rate as possible. This one I should have changed to a crit rate one because you want her to be at 100% crit rate, as every time she does, she procs a crit based on her passive, she gains ultimate energy, which again mitigates the boss's the boss's like stack, because you want to remove that stack that he gets, so he gets into the weakened state once he does his ultimate. Then we have average, which is in Dawn Organ Pipe, and then Puppeteer's Inspiration, as much attack as possible. And then I also gave him Ancestral Guidance to try and heal himself a bit in case it's needed and he might die. Then Flora, obviously the MVP of this fight, her exclusive artifact, of course, as much enlightenment and attack as I possibly could, because that's the way to go on her, right? And she does some obscene numbers. Then we have Casper. Casper is with the Scarlet Dance, the artifact, right? Sorry, Ring of the Scarlet Sorcerer. The Scarlet Dance is the effect. This is the one that I gave to him. And then again, Mythic Pieces of Gear. Kind of went with this one because, you know, sometimes he's going to be a full HP, so he's going to do pretty well. But if you have problems, you know, if you have trouble surviving, then you can put the Ancestral Guidance as well on him, so he can heal himself a bit more. And obviously, you know, Strike the Unprepared on everybody that does damage in all of your teams. So this is his build. Again, talents you can see at the bottom. And for the support for this team, I actually went with Ogok. Again, same principle. Ogok, I actually gave him the Gatekeeper Staff. This one seemed to do better for me and allowed me to stay alive better than than having the Horn on me, so that I can do more damage. It's, you know, towards the end I kind of like start dying. So by having the Gatekeeper Staff, I stay alive and I'm able to do as much damage as possible. And then you also see that I have a, Lunar Radiance piece of gear. Honestly, this doesn't help me too much because he's not gonna die, so you can give him any piece of gear that you want on this one. The reason why I went with Puppeteer's Inspiration for him is because I want him to try and cast his ultimate as often as possible, so he puts the immortality and also heals us as often as possible as well, right? Because in this team, he's only gonna boost himself as everybody else's fire, but it still worked for me, so I still went with that. And then the last team is going to be my rally team, 233 million, which Filto was the main damage dealer. He actually, honestly, Filto just does more damage than Telendor in this fight. I'm not sure if with the exclusive artifact Telendor would do more, but for me, Filto just did the most amount of damage. He has the Flute of the King, which made him do some pretty good damage. Also crit damage over here, again, Mythic Piece of Gear, as much crit damage and attack as possible. Now do keep in mind, you want to get him at like 70% crit rate, and that's about it, because having Laurentian in the team means that he's going to be having that increased crit rate boost of 30% for most of the fight, and that's going to be a big difference. It means you can push more crit damage. Now I'm not sure why I have so little crit damage. I guess it's because I have this one that gives me crit rate and I could now focus, more crit damage in other areas. I'm also missing 16% crit damage over here because obviously he's now fire, and I don't have enough stuff to keep resetting the bonus, so that's what I went with him. I would have preferred to have more, but it's the best I got over here, again with some crit damage. I actually gave him a bit of survivability because it's tricky towards the end. People start dying like in the last minute or last 30 seconds, but still worked just fine. Then Laurentian, Dawn Organ Pipe, and then Brotherhood Spirit with as much attack as possible, obviously, because that's his role in this team. Then Mithrasia as my support. She was running Gatekeeper Staff, and then with Ancestral Protection. Now, you don't necessarily need her. I'm quite sure Catherine could be doing a pretty decent support role in this team, but it might not be as good as her, of course, because, she brings the healing on the battle skill, plus she brings it on the buffs. She brings it on buffs, which means we're going to survive more. Then Telendor, he has the other rally exclusive artifact, the Hysteria Pan Flute. Again, crit damage, crit rate, and as much attack as I could get on him with Mythic Pieces of Gear. And then the last one, the team Sagomir, actually I used him for the Witch's Remains. He is also the Puppeteer Inspiration hero, but the reason why he is in the team, instead of having somebody like Yola, which is what I had initially, is I noticed that sometimes I don't do enough ultimate energy boost for some reason, right? Even though I should, because of Laurentian. And because of that, I brought him, as he can do every 12 seconds. He throws recovery over time and recharges the ultimate energy, which again allows us to remove the boss's stacks so that we can do as good as possible. But still, 233 million, pretty good damage for me. And, I'm pretty happy with this. I'm still not going to be able, even though it looks like now I'm 36 overall and 25 daily, I'm sure I'm just going to drop and be kind of like yesterday. Because if I look at the damage ranking, right, so today I have 144 million. Look at yesterday, I had 138. So if I look at 144 million that doesn't even get me in top 100, right? So, you know, there's nothing else I can push more. I'm lacking lots of the exclusive artifacts, so I'm not gonna try and do some more. But again, if you want me to make videos on the full breakdown of the team and the lineups and you know, skill timings and positionings, let me know in the comments down below, and whichever one I have more people asking me about, that's the one that I'm gonna focus on making a video on first, so I can share with you guys, because you know what, it might help, because I only have one exclusive legendary. Honestly, Stellandor doesn't count, it can be anybody else. If you have Huberg, might do even better than him, honestly. I just unfortunately don't have Huberg, but apart from this, the only team that I have an exclusive is Flora, and every other one you see I don't have Lalwanes. Over here I don't have Lothair, over here I don't have Vitar, and over here I don't have Nashchenka, which means, you know, I'm just capped at what amount of damage I can do. But I'm gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you for watching. As always, if you do enjoy my content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel to see when I upload next, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace, love, take care, everyone. Bye, guys.